4-acre tract subject to the development agreement located along Paddock Avenue at Wonderworld Drive, also known as Buie Tract, authorizing the city manager to execute a consent to the partial assignment on behalf of the city and declaring an effective date.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Scott, and a second from Mr. Bishak. A motion from Mr. Scott, and a second from Mr. Bishak.
Melissa Derrick, I'm here to talk to you tonight about the Buie Tract. That we have inspectors out there that are making sure that no features are being uncovered. A bulldozer operator doesn't know how to recognize the features. He's not going to be able to see them from the height that he's working. I really figure this is going to be another retreat type situation, only this time it's going to be in my backyard instead of down the street.
I support Melissa Derrick. All right, all the way. Thank you so much. Don't forget to vote Melissa Derrick. Absolutely.
We have a very young neighborhood. I have 5 kids under the age of 6 years old on my cul-de-sac alone.
Go, Melissa.
Go, Melissa.
Yes. I will say if you want. Large. Gotcha.
Quiet neighborhood with a lot of kids. You know, we do have a lot of fears after what's gone on with the retreat. That's been an absolute nightmare for those neighbors, and I hope that's not going to be visited upon us. That's all I got.
There's more food than mouths to feed. Where you'll find those you can. I got my signs.
Right. Can you tell us why you're a Melissa Derrick supporter?
Because I believe in San Marcos staying San Marcos.
Thank you so
and
much.
keeping the river nice and clean and beautiful the way it is now.
And you're one of our residents who regularly shows up to City Hall and speaks out. You've always been very involved, and we appreciate all that you do for our community.
Thank you. On and off.
All right.
The Buie Tract. We all know the bulldozing of the warbler habitats and the fact that there are now rock piles the size of small cars that are hiding features in caves. So why do we want to encourage this type of underhanded tactic?
What's y'all's vision for San Marcos? What do you like best about our community?
I like the litter that's everywhere. In the river especially.
I like the spontaneity of people just getting together and making it happen and realizing if there's a problem that there's always a solution. And I think Melissa has a solution because she cares about her community and she cares about the environment and our river. And that's the main San Marcos River. Whew. Thank you.
Last sentence of paragraph 1 of the new agreement, the city waives any complaint about past breaches by Craddock. Last sentence of paragraph 1 of the new agreement, the city waives any complaint about past breaches by Craddock. Last sentence of paragraph 1 of the new agreement, the city waives any complaint about past breaches by Craddock. This is not some minor technical issue since we all are well aware of many features that are now hidden. Council would be well within its rights in insisting that before things go further, a private company be retained and brought to the city for approval so that the matter of securing the natural recharge features will be fully vetted by the council. Saying that the agreement was satisfied by some indirect approval by a city department does not jive with the advice that was provided by the city attorney on June 4th. From what I understand, the city has a legal right now to terminate performance under contract. So why are we rushing to enter into an agreement? I feel we need to start over on this process, do a solid environmental assessment, involve the neighborhood, and allow the developers to present us with something clear and enforceable rather than this constantly shifting set of proposals and clarifications.
I forgot that at Capstone Cottages there was a hydrogen sulfide leak that literally went all the way down from that area to where I live on Belvin, and people were vomiting. They were very sick, very nauseous because of that hydrogen sulfide leak because they were able to dig so far deep into the aquifer. And actually, and you also know that the putting the cement in the caves, I've confirmed that through the experts in the field that deal with the water in Texas.
I always hear from council members that they don't want any more land taken off the tax rolls. How many hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxes are we losing as opposed to what it would cost to put in a trail system and maintain 95 acres? The extremely small number of houses they are allowed to be built on phase 2 and 3 would not pose a huge threat to the environment. But the 900 bedrooms in phase 1, possibly 1,200 of phase 1A goes through will. I ask you to postpone this matter until proper survey can be done. Thank you.
Hello again, Melissa Derrick, 109 Catherine Cove. I'm here in opposition to the rezoning at Holland. My neighborhood is under attack too. I have the retreat now and soon to come the cottages behind us on the Buie Tract, which we were so blessed to have the Buie Tract rezoned a couple of years ago. I think more and more people in town feel like that their neighborhoods are being attacked. He feels like his neighborhood's being attacked, and I'd have to agree with them. First you have to fight Sessoms for a year, then you've got the Hollands coming up behind it, and nobody feels comfortable buying a single-family home here. Nobody feels comfortable when they. The fact of the matter is that once you put multifamily housing in, it just sets the precedent that they can put more and more in. It's like putting that Lego in. Live in their home that it's not going to change to the point that they don't want to live there and they're afraid for their children's safety. Then what do you think happens? Compatible until the whole neighborhood is gone. It needs to stop somewhere. And we've all been up here talking about it for a year. And we'll keep talking about it, for 10 years if that's what we need to do. But the trend has to change. And I would hope that you would vote no for Holland simply because you need to preserve a neighborhood. I'm up here talking about it for a year. And we'll keep talking about it, for 10 years if that's what we need to do. But the trend has to change. And I would hope that you would vote no for Holland simply because you need to preserve a neighborhood. The trend has to change. The trend has to change. And I would hope that you would vote no for Holland simply because you need to preserve a neighborhood. And I would hope that you would vote no for Holland simply because you need to preserve a neighborhood. Thank you.
If there's no other comments, then we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on this item. Aye.
Aye. Mr. Thomason?
Aye.
Mr. Bishak?
Aye.
Mr. Scott?
Aye.
Mr. Prather?
Aye.
Mr. Tomides?
No. All right. That brings us to the end of that item. Let's move then to item number 28, which is questions and answers from the press and public. If you'll please come forward to state your name. And you'll need to ask a question. This is for questions and answers.
I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes to the 4 minutes. Hey, I'm out of time and all I got is 4 minutes to the 4 minutes. Hey.
Okay, my name is Bridget Phillips, and the question I have for you guys tonight is, I would like to know if you know where the sinkholes occur on this Buie Tract Phase 1, and if you are confident that it will not affect our aquifer.
You're asking us individually or collectively?
Well, I guess I can ask you individually or collectively, whichever way you think it would be best for you to answer.
You've got the maps on where they're located. As far as if any of us have gone directly and seen them, particularly, that would be a question for each of us individually. So I can't answer on behalf of them. You have to ask them.
I didn't see.
Okay.
Anyone else want?
I don't know. I mean, I read the map.
But we don't really.
It's gated property.
Yeah.
They'll have to comply with the geological assessment and protect
Which one?
Nature. All the caves have already been protected on phase 1.
Okay.
According to the letter they
If you thought it better be what you want.